Okay, right now we are starting the videotaping, so I can send that later to you. Basically, what it is all about right now is about one topic per session, and the session today is all about food safety, food security, and how to handle it. And in Flex2B, in Flex2B, you have a set of tools that you can use where you can get information from and put it at your hands. But in the meantime, I like to start like I'm always starting, and that's basically with gonna look in the documentation. So again, gonna go to the www.flex2b.eu/documentation, and that's where we end, which is available for everyone. Try to use it because a lot of information is available in the online documentation. And as I just said, we want to end up with a recall at the latest of the session. So let's start and type in just the word recall. Over here, 1, 2, 3 parts of it, and we can take a look into the recall documentation, or we can go to the contents, and I know where it is, of course, in the portals, in the food safety part. And here we have 2 pages on the recall. Now, this is very important when you talk to people. That is that you give them the idea that not only the solution will help them, but also that you guys have enough exercises, best practices, and that you can do some advice and stuff. So if we're going to look what a food product recall procedure is, you can start reading this. This is not a session about reading, but basically what it says is you need to be prepared, and you need to have an incident flow chart available before that you start doing whatever or implementing whatever. And just as a sample, and this was one of the mails of Katja. He says, share us every documentation there is. Well, I think you already have most of it, meaning if you look at the Flex2B Dropbox folder, and Joseph can add elements to it as well. But use this document as well, which is basically the documentation that is online. So you see over here a simplified flow chart, and this is just a sample. It's up to you to do it. Okay. Level up. We're gonna go to a recall issue management, and over here we have a lot of things that we can add, and we can escalate it later. And escalation can be done by extracting it, and that's, for instance, available in the classic user interface towards a CSV file. Any CSV file can actually be opened by whatever Excel or Excel-alike tool, and so you can escalate towards the complete chain. And why towards the complete chain? Because you need to identify yourself. Where am I in the food logistics flow, in the supply chain? Am I a man in the middle? Am I very early in the chain? And am I very late in the chain? So I need to be able to do a recall to my customers, but also try to identify it to my suppliers, for instance, which might be other growers, which might be something you sold from another party, bought from another party, etc., etc. So this is the thing that I want to talk about in this session. Again, use the documentation online to assist you, to guide you with this one. And if you give the people the idea that you can, that you manage all those things, well, once you can convince them about this, that actually means that you can get the solution solved. For instance, this Visio that you just, or better said, that chart that you just saw was made by Visio, and basically I'm not gonna go over the complete chart, but it's basically a flow chart. This is what it is. Yeah. And as you saw it, and Joseph, I don't know, but that's something you can check, of course. See whether you have this document folder, which is called recall and contaminations under the best practices, whether it is available to the team of Katja. That's one thing. Second thing is we also made a set of documents, and over here we have, for instance, this Microsoft Word document available. And in this Microsoft Word document, we see how we're gonna handle it. This was a workshop and a case study dating 2013, but basically it's still available. And this is how we gonna implement and help assist people with it. So you see, if you have this email or this document, you actually have the procedure on blocking and recall. It's a little best practice tool. Read the documentation, use the tools. Of course, the tools will still look all the same, but they have, of course, involved. And what you actually can do, you can actually start doing communications to whatever party. Let's go, for instance, to one page width or page width. Then you actually see what we have done. Yeah. All these things can help you and assist you. You see, there are a lot of cases that we have defined and where we have taught and talked about. Yeah. So Greet and or Joseph, they will see whether this folder is available. If it is available, you can start using it. Next level. This is just the introduction. Let's now go to Flex1B and what Flex1B can mean or give to you. And to start using that, I'm gonna open a browser. And we're gonna go to our demonstration. Flex1B, which is available for anyone on the cloud. Here we are. It seems that I'm still logged in, so I'm gonna first log out. So people start basically at this screen. And let's do some login. Login. And of course, I need to type in my correct password to log in. The very first thing, Katja, that is follow, ask Miss Mail about how to use or how to look at the loosely coupled elements for a stock unit. Let's just go into the stock unit inquiry. Here we are. And basically, let's just open a stock unit list.
Suddenly there's a lot of noise on the background.
Yeah, I know, but it's not coming from me, I think. It's someone else.
Ah, it's gone. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna put my video away because I see that I'm having bandwidth issues, so I'm gonna go without video. So basically, I'm having over here my prompt list with a lot of information. And what we actually can do is we can scan, of course, a palette, etc., etc. But basically, I'm now gonna take one. I'm just taking whatever palette. Here it is on the screen. And basically, we have a set of grower, but I see there are no growers attached, so this is not a nice sample. Let's take some other samples. Well, I can start with, for instance, this one. And what we want to do is we want to have a broad view what this palette has done. And you can see on the screen, you can go into the individual modules, but you can also click over here and click on the passport. And the passport generates us a report, and we see several sections in it. We see the palette on itself, the SFCC code. We see a barcode. We see that it is red. The number is written in red, and that actually means that this stock unit is blocked. Yeah, but you can get the individual reports and enhance them yourself. But what do you see about this stock unit? Well, of course, the AI10 code, and the AI10 code is, for instance, our batch or lot number. So you can use this number to communicate forward or backward. We see the operation history that was done on it. Yeah, you see that it was generated with these characteristics on the 23rd of December 2015. You see all the growers included, yeah, and you see the number of packs that it has, as well as when the pick date was, and you see the produce operations on it. Now, I'm gonna now search for one which has been delivered, because then we would have the delivery details, such as the client and customer number as well. And basically what I can do, I can print it, of course, or I can just download it. And then it will just download as a PDF document. So I'm just gonna put it in my download folder. I'm gonna open it with whatever, doesn't really matter. And you actually see this is a PDF document. Let's do now the same with one which is already loaded out. This one, for instance. And we're gonna add the password information out of it. And actually, over here, we see more information. This is actually a beautiful one to show. You see all the steps that has been done. So this palette seems to be created, delivered, taken back in, yeah, and delivered again. And we see the produce order or the PO number, the PO operation, that's where it was created. We see the delivery details. So we see the order number. This is the order number. We see how many pallets and packs were delivered in that order. Yeah. 2. This is our customer number. And basically this is GDPR, but this is our customer name or client name. So you know where it went to. Together with this, we can go to the delivery notes and to the loadout references. The delivery note, so it was delivered on this order number and delivery note 1 in this case. This is basically what it is telling you, such a card. This stock unit card is written in the reporting engine of Dataflex Reports 7. Doesn't really matter, but it's done in 7. And you can actually enhance it yourself. Last week we did a video on how to create Dataflex reports for Flex2B with a little tutorial on how you can use Dataflex 7 and create your own reports. Basically, this is a pop-up report. Next to that, and next to the reports in general, we also have classic reporting. For instance, operational, we can do actually the same thing over here. So if I open this again, then I can see that it was delivered. No, it was not on this one. Okay, it was on another one which I did not download, but I still have this information, copy, so I can fastly generate it again, download it, save, there it is, and it's on 201801. So basically what I can do right now is go to my reports, and I can actually say, show me the order and delivery note that was included, for instance. And then I can type it in, or I can search it through the prompt list, 201801, and it was number 1, I think. And I can say, run the order delivery report, and I can actually have all the pallets, just seem to be one, which is on an order and delivery. So this is my order delivery document. You can enhance that, or you can do whatever you want. If I consider this one, I can also go to the sales invoice on itself, but basically this is a session about food safety, so I'm not going to go into depth over there. Unless someone wants to have more info on it, then just raise a question. When we are on that order and delivery, we can go to the recall main screen. And the recall main screen, we can define, oh, this is the report, sorry. Let's just generate a new one. I'm just going to cancel on this one. And I'm going to go to my portal for this was the reporting. Let's go to the portal of the food safety and make a recall issue. So basically, I can give it whatever title that I want to. Okay, I don't have anything. 2020 03/31st. Recall date. Let's put it on demo for Dala consultants. It is an internal communication. It can go external, and it's concerning a food issue, for instance. So you can enter whatever properties that you want. What you now can do is, in case you want to publish something on your website, you can put an HTML reference on it, and you can put a larger description on it. This is just a collection of a recall issue. Please contact your vendor for more information, for instance. This is basically my header, and now we can add elements to it. Save it, and we're going to say yes. It allows us not only to add, because this is just a collection, to add SSCCs that are still in stock, but also SSCCs that are out stock. Why? If you want to do a recall, often a lot of the logistics units are still in-house, in stock. while some others might be already or have already been delivered towards customers and need to be really recalled. And basically, we're just gonna add this to this incident. Let's add some more. And I'm seeing that we currently don't have so much bandwidth available. Let's just say, okay. And we're gonna add this one as well. Basically, the recall issue is just a maintenance application. And if I go back to my stock unit inquiry, which is, as you know it, my general place where I can inspect everything. I can ask and get the information that we have just entered. And basically, it should have blocked. Why didn't it block? Good question. Probably because I made a mistake in my recall. Here is the reason. What I didn't do, what I better did, was invoke an auto block. If I put this check mark on and I add lines into my recall, it will actually block them automatically. So I'm gonna save this change. So you see that it is completely steered by the user and what the user actually wants you to do. Okay, the first two are already blocked. Let's take the fourth. Okay. Which was already delivered, which is a good example. And now let's go with what we wanted to do, that is inspect what happened with that pallet. We see that the block flag, the very first status or indicator, what came on, together with, if we look in the operation detail, you get a line PD HLD, PD because it had a status that it was already depleted, and we put it on hold. And if you look over here, blocked
Frank?
Because of rock. Yes.
Maybe it would be good to rephrase the PCPD again, what that is.
Okay. Everything which has the operation type PC is produce created. If you see the PD, it is produce depleted. Yeah. So it's just an indicator whether you add things to your stock or take things from your stock. But for instance, that PDHLD, although it is blocked, it will not change the last operation, real operation on your pallet header. So let's take now this pallet, yeah, and let's look on how that passport will look. The passport looks like this. So we have a PD LOP. That's basically what it is. And you see that it is blocked. It is automatically blocked because it is in red. So basically, it gives you the ability to work with all kinds of triggers to manage the safety of your produce and to do a recall. When I look at this one, let's now go to the recall report. So that's a food safety, and we're going to go to the recall report, and let's take just an issue. Let's take the issue that I just defined, the last one. Okay. And let's generate the recall. So you see the recall management module. And of course, again, this is a data Flex7 report. Actually, you can change it yourself, or you can change it to the needs of the customer. So let's go a little bit bigger. And what do we actually see? We see the SSEC number. We see the quantity involved. And my Siri thinks that I'm talking to it.
Stedelijk Conservatorium Kunstlaar in Hasselt. Was je hier naar op zoek?
Sorry. Stop, Siri, stop. So we have the material number, we have the material description. Then, and that's something that Paulo knows very well, that is, we have our storage category, meaning we have the quality indicator, which is at U for the first one, W for the second, U at the third one. The zero, I don't know, but I think this was the weight. But you can add each and every property which is available. You see the type of communication. You have scannable labels, which is very much appreciated by your customers, because then they can scan it and they can fast enter. For your traceability elements, you see the lot and the batch number, where that logistics number is in or on. And this is basically my simple recall management report. Looking at this one, yeah, I can now also say I want to run another report. Let's run a report and say, give me an overview of everything which is in stock, which for each and every stock unit that is blocked. So I click on the block on the report. Here it is. Can run a while if it is a big store and you have many blocked units. But actually, over here you have the Flex1B stock unit blocked overview, and you have each and every pallet ordered by the order that I defined, which is origin, variety, brand, growing method, class, and size. But again, you can change it how you want it, the quantity that's on it, the material that it is holding, when was the last operation done, and what was that last operation, and more important, to find it back in my warehouse or location management system. I have the location where that pallet currently is. It's in the site cost at KC01, which is cool cell 01, and it is at row 1, level, ground level, depth 1, but these are just indicators that you can set yourself. So if I'm now going to take this number, I'm going to just open a second tab page that makes it easier for me to work with. Let's go to the stock unit inquiry. Okay, let's inspect the document that we were just looking at. Let's go to the location information. And over here, I see actually where it was. That's also what the report told me, where it was. Let's now go over to the Windows part of it. The Windows part of it will give me the ability to make Excel files and so on, so that I can manage my samples. Okay, and I just switched to, if I'm correct, my Windows screen. Does everybody see now my Windows screen? Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna log into my Flex1B instance over here. And basically, I was just doing the demonstration on the cloud. Now I'm doing a demonstration on my own installation, so the data may look a little bit different. Let's go to my tab, claims and recall, for instance. And in my claims and recall, I'm having my recalls name document. And I should see the same as I saw on the internet, except that this is another instance where I'm working on. So I'm having over here a claim number. Remember the claim number that we did a few days ago? And we put 3 pallets under it. Okay, this is nice. And what we now can do is we can go to a set of utilities, and we can actually export this this recall to a CSV document, and that CSV document can then be used. Yeah, this can be used for your communication. For instance, let's go and look for that file that we just made. Here it is. And this is basically the documentation. This is basically the CSV that we can use for generating or sending towards customers. What do I see? I see a beginning of message. I see a date that I just generated. I see my recall number. And under that recall number, and that's where people will be interested in, I see my SSCC numbers, my logistics unit numbers. So I can mail this document towards, for instance, my supplier, or towards my distribution party, or my whatever person that I want to be informed. And this will actually, this one will actually block or search the documents that are needed for them to do their part of the exercise. And this basically, yeah, can then be used in an email communication. So I could say copy, open my mail, start up a new mail, yeah, saying to Katja, for instance, hi Katja, I'm gonna spam you, yeah, or recall issue. I'm having a training incident. Sample info, paste, yeah, dear Katja, in attachment, Tara, Tati, Tara, Tata, whatever you want to put into. And then I can say, send the mail, yeah, and a split second later in your mailbox, you have an Excel file or a CSV file that you can use to do your internal exercise. Let's just close this one. Want to save your changes? No. And basically, this is what I, in a few words, want to say about how Flex1B can handle recalling and how it combines several elements to do your exercises. Maybe another one that I can send you, or that is, I just need to find it. Here, flags and conditions, but I'm gonna leave this one for a next session. I just want to open the view and show it to you so that you already see what it is about. And the flags and conditions, Flex1B itself and a stock unit has a lot of flags, checks, and conditions, like there is a block, like there is a suspect, etc., etc. And what you actually can do is you can upload a file and it will automatically mark true or false, put it or take it away, a particular state and a particular modus. Yes?
Frank? Sorry. Katja asked a question in the chat box.
Frank, the recall number is automatically created for Flex1B, or is it a number we create and add? Number 2, Katja. This is a non-auto increment number. This is a number that you can assign yourself. So on the chat window, Katja just asked the question, Frank, the recall number is then automatically created for Flex1B, or is it a number we create and add? And it's actually option number 2. You define it yourself as it fits to you, because you want that it might be a number that is already escalated to you to use that particular number, etc., etc. So it's free to choose. Basically, Katja, Paulo, Sydney, Felipe is in as well. Felipe, I hope that I got everybody. Great, and Joseph, of course. This is the session what I wanted to handle today, because I think it has a lot of advantages. First of all, it gives you an insight on how we can cope with blocking. It has shown you the documentation and how to define something yourself. It has defined some reports, used some reports, showed that everything is fast available over the internet on your breakfast table in the morning with plain PDF. You can generate files that you can use in your communication, and it will automatically block certain contents. So a blocked palette, for instance, can never be delivered anymore. That can never be. You mean the report, Katja? Here you are.
Yeah. Hello,
And
friend.
you, but yes, Paulo.
Just a few questions. I'm
Yes.
understood it's okay, and you can find the location where is the pallet that was blocked. And
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you, for
That's, for
instance,
instance, for your if you use the full extension, yeah, and you have a blocked palette, but this is already further and deeper in the software, and you use industrial PDAs, when there is a forklift driver which picks one, you will get a notification that it needs to be segregated towards uh, quality zone or in quarantine, etc., etc. But I didn't look at this aspect yet. Yeah, otherwise it would get too technical. Now I just wanted to show you a flow of how you can use it.
okay, perfect. And
Wait,
just
wait, wait,
one
wait,
more
wait,
question.
wait a sec. Okay,
Can you hear me?
yeah, but there's a lot of noise when you're talking.
I'm trying to say clear. Uh,
Clear in the
let's
sense of
say
you
again.
understood it.
Yes. And I would
Okay,
like to ask you, for instance, if I receive, company receive a complaint that a pallet that I purchased has a problem.
you're falling away. Your question. Can you otherwise type it in the chat box, Paulo?
Okay. Sorry, but I can hear you really clear.
Paulo, you're far away. Can you just type it over here in the message box, the chat box?
Yes. Better now?
Frank, the chat box that you show on the screen is just a black box for us.
Ah, it's sorry. That's my chat box. I thought it would record on the video if I put it over there.
No, it's just a black square.
Okay. Sorry. Word the attempt. Paulo, for instance, yes. Um, you can the question of Paulo was, for instance, how can we advise different customers that we have to make a recall? As I said, the best thing is that you make a report out of it, and you can make a report yourself. Let's log into the database, yeah, just to get fast some data. This is technical. This is something you don't need to do yourself, yeah, but I need to get some palettes. For instance, select me, for instance, the AI10, which is the SSCC, from the palette header, the cool store palette header, where material number is equal to a particular material, for instance, 107. Yeah, and I'm just gonna ask a top 5 just to get a limited set. It's not the AI10, it's the AI00. Sorry. Execute. Over here, I'm getting 5 SSCCs. Yeah, and these SSCCs can be used to be uploaded into such a system. How do you advise each and every? Okay, Katja wants me to do it into a report. She just wants to know whether I can or not. Sorry, create reports in Dataflex reports. I think she needs to report to Chip on that one. No problem. Just need to add finish. Yeah. Let's say that I want to have that same table, the palette header. Yeah. Let's continue. And I just want to have the palette number, for instance. Sorry. Yeah. Palette number, number of packs, for instance. Material. And okay, I want to have the material file with it as well. So it's relating material number towards my material file. Next, fields to display, palette number, number of packs, material. Next, then I can actually group it or whatever. I don't think this is really what I want to do. Data filters, I can say where the material number is equal to, and then you just give a value. Next, finish. Here is my report. Yeah, I can even add fields manual with it. Let's add that SSCC code with it, for instance. Here it is. And I usually know that such people want to have a barcode. So let's add, you really want me to make a function, a report. Yeah. Let's say that I'm having BCSSCC, and I say I want to return the value, and then you need to know how an SSCC is encoded in barcode. String function. Oh, sorry, database field. Application identifier. Let's check. Okay, let's add this BC as a CC coder over here. Ooh, this is big. Now we're gonna say we want to make a barcode out of it. You find the type of the barcode, which is general a GS1 EM128. Okay. So maybe I should say, let's add the size. 96, for instance. And this is always a hard one. This is something I need to say to Vincent. Actually, finding this. Let's say 3 centimeters high. Okay, this is really exaggerated. Let's say 1.5, that's more than enough. And basically, this is my simple report. And if I now preview it, if I now preview it, I made an error in my barcode. I think it's gonna like this one more. 5 pages, it's quite a lot. Okay, here it is. And these are just things where you can play with. And I actually have my barcode. So this can be scanned, this can be communicated, this can be, this is your report that you have made yourself. Of course, it's not fancy, but basically it's showing what you want and you can print it and communicate it. I hope this fits your question a little bit, Paulo. Paulo? Okay. Someone else a question? But you see how fast you can make your DataFlex reports. No one?
No, Frank.
Yes. Hi,
I
Felipe.
think, hi, Grid, hi, Frank, Joseph, everybody. I think we need more time to understand very well that system. It's very complex. There is a lot of of information and
Yeah.
possibilities.
What I now
Uh,
did was
okay.
I gave you the helicopter view.
Okay. Yes, but we need a little more contact with the software. But the Flex2B is absolutely spectacular because he gave us a deep view
Mm-hmm.
of the production, the supply chain, and so. But it's not easy to understand everything about that software. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, and use the documentation. And what you really need to do before you're going to use a solution such as Flex2B, prepare the flows, just as I did in November with Paulo in Brussels. Make your documentation, make your documents, put flows in a farm, in a food, whatever manufacturing unit, into a process flow, put it into pieces, make operations out of it. And basically what Flex2B does, and what the force of Flex2B is, each and every operation is recorded. And that's what it's all about.
Okay. Okay, understand.
But basically, I can start for a complete month giving you the complete ins and outs. Yeah.
Okay.
But you should look at Flex2B, just as I explained to Paulo last year, as a set of Lego blocks. Yeah, you know the famous Lego, the colored blocks. Yeah, where you can build your own house with. Well, what we do is the complete process flow of your customer. Yeah, we're gonna put them into blocks, into tiny little elements. And if you talk to a blue collar worker, he only knows, yeah, what's in front of him. Yeah. Something arrives, does something with it, something goes further. Yeah. And basically all those blocks give you the possibility to make your own house. And because of you make and record all those elements and how they influence each other, yeah, you can actually do a very limited recall and very focused recall. What I showed you is elements that were blocked, elements that were grouped or contained into a recall container, individual customers, and yeah, all those elements on itself make the possibility for you to make your own contamination. But the most important document, Felipe, and then I'm gonna leave it. The most important document basically is this one. Yeah, that's a document that we have as a sample. Yeah, that we have as a sample. And that's basically, this is something which I've made 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And it gives you a set of case tools. What ifs? Yeah. What if? And just read it. Yeah. Because it interacts with so many different levels. And what is the main advantage of it? Because you're gonna go into all those levels. Yeah. You never know in advance when and how you need to do a recall or a block.
Okay.
But this gives you a set of scenarios. I hope this is a correct English word. Mechanisms that you need to embed, and depending on the moment, look now at the Corona incident. Yeah, most virologists, yeah, didn't know how to handle it, so they needed to fall back on certain mechanisms that they have, and those mechanisms are described in these kinds of documents.
No, for sure. For sure.
Okay. I got the red flag from Brussels that this is a good moment to stop with the presentation, that there is enough in it. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to stop recording this session, and I'm going to make this video available to you by whatever means. I'll see that I can shrink it and then that we can put it somewhere. Everybody, thank you for your attention, and the meeting is now closed.